This is where you get that. So go and grab you a nice chair. It's time to sit back and talk to profit. Hey.
And we are going live with Nick Black in 5, 4, 3, 2.
If we were to do this one in Spanish, how would you do the beginning if you had to do it in Spanish, Brandon? If let's say that they hire us to do Spanish Money Morning, mañana en vivo de dinero. Mañana dinero en vivo. ¿Cómo puede decir?
I would definitely have to learn a little more Spanish. Little more Spanish. That's all I would need to do. But I think I could do the whole show in Spanish. Give me like
Vamos a hacerlo en español. And then, because, man, if we did it in Spanish, people are like, dang, I don't know what they're saying, but this seems like it's awesome. Muy buenos días.
Everything sounds better in Spanish.
Todo. Okay. I guess it's the kind of the first new, well, it's definitely the first new AICI show of the year. So that's cool. So the American Institute for Crypto Investors en vivo. We have a good show today. We have.
Could we do it in Romanian? At least I know Romanian. You know,
no one knows Romanian.
Yaha! Yeah, sunt aici cu Nick Black aici. Noi avem astăzi ziua.
Yeah, did I catch a niner in there? Were you talking from a walkie-talkie?
I think what was going to happen is I think a lot of people are going to be in the chat, and you're going to have to be surprised with how many know Romanian.
How many? Well, the ones that know Romanian are going to be vomiting at what you just said. They all just puke. If they're on a keyboard, they just puke. They just puke their keyboard.
Jazzies? Nu știu. Yeah.
Let's do this.
Hey, Dr. Rob. I think he knows it.
Yeah, he knows that you just pulled a shenanigan. Okay, why don't we do this? We can look at markets. For those new, if there's any of the new heavyweights that are with us, let us know. Well, we already see some of the heavyweights because we have the little
the punchy sign thing. Cool. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm. That's right. What's going on in markets? I mean, not a lot. It's kind of quiet to sideways. It's been quiet to sideways. Look at the Bitcoin, and that'll tell you the story you need to know. Over the last 30 days, 2%. What does that mean?
Is this good though? I mean, we've seen some stabilization in Bitcoin like we've never seen before. Is that good for a bottom, or good for a foundation?
Well, do any of you believe that Michael Saylor over at MicroStrategies was selling Bitcoin because they were tax harvesting?
Dude, I thought I saw that he bought 2,500 more Bitcoin. Who said he was selling?
Well, remember, he bought at 17.8, sold at 16.7, bought back at 16.9. So he bought high, sold low, bought high again. Told everyone he was tax harvesting. I declare shenanigans. I declare shenanigans. He wasn't tax harvesting. What's happening is he's borrowed against his Bitcoin to buy more Bitcoin. Well, sorry, not his. It's not his. It's money, MicroStrategies treasury funds. First, they converted the treasury to Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin dropped. This was like when Bitcoin was well over 40K, because their average price with all their purchases is like 31,000. So he borrowed against his Bitcoin. Well, first he bought Bitcoin with the treasury money, and it S the bed. Then he borrowed against that Bitcoin to get loans against that. So he levered up that Bitcoin to buy more Bitcoin, and it S the bed. Then they did a bond issuance, which, by the way, they're like double C paper. It's anybody who knows what junk bonds is. This is junkiest of the junk. Look, anything under triple B is junk. Their stuff is double C. Double C. If anybody knows, it's what they call wallpaper in the bond market. I got a buddy of mine who's a bond trader, and he just laughs. He's like, MicroStrategies, you could just take that stuff and use it as toilet paper. It's worth more as toilet paper than as any kind of instrument. So they did a bond issuance, bought more Bitcoin. the bed. That was that was like in the 40s. Then they did a stock issuance. They issued more stock. So they diluted their stock to do what? To raise 500 more million to buy more Bitcoin. Well, guess what? When you do all of those levered mechanisms, other than the stock sale, all the other stuff they did, they have debt service on that. They're underwater by 2 billion of their 4 billion in Bitcoin. That's not so good. That reminds me of a report. Sarah sent me a report from the Credit Financial Health Bureau-y thing, whatever. It's a governmental org that looks at the financial health of the American family and yada, yada. And Michael Saylor, rich, not rich, whatever, by the way, currently has been indicted in Washington for tax fraud, as has, they're fighting it right now. So he's not found guilty. He's just been indicted for tax fraud and stuff like that. So whatever, we'll see. But this same guy is now doing all these shenanigans. Debt service is coming due. He's getting nuked on debt service. If things don't change real quick, and I don't see why they would real quick. I mean, quick for us. Listen, do you know what the magic number is today? What our magic day number is, Brandon?
Yeah, it's 400.
400, that's right. So for us, in the next 300 days, we happy as hell. MicroStrategy's not happy as hell because they can't make it 400 more days. They can't make it. I don't think they can make it 180 more days. 176 days is 6 months. I don't think they have 6 more months. And I know this sounds kind of like apocalyptic or dystopian, but I don't think MicroStrategies can afford debt service on 2 billion, being in the hole 2 billion, because he's still got to service that debt. And their mechanism of tax harvesting, we had capital gains. Bull smoke, you had capital gains. You've melted $2 billion, Mike. Tell me how selling, 500 or 700 or 2, how is that many Bitcoin? How is that going to, eradicate your capital gains? MicroStrategies doesn't have any capital gains. There's nothing to gain. No one pays them for anything. They used to be a business intelligence company. What do they do now? They hold Bitcoin. The only other company that holds Bitcoin as a profession is DCG, Digital Currency Group, through Grayscale, and that's not doing so swell either. So I don't know, man. That's T and K. You got it right. What MicroStrategies does is here's their MicroStrategy. They take a lot of money and they end up with a little money. They're like the reverse of the underwear gnomes. We buy Bitcoin, then step 2, step 3, sell at a loss. Uh-oh. Whatever step 2 is, I don't think it's good. So when you see these flat markets, this is when you thank your lucky stars that you're not one of these degenerate scumbags. We talked about it yesterday. We did a public stream. For those of you that are curious, we did a public digital heavyweights where we went through all of the creeps and losers and degenerate D-bags from last year, from 2022. And there's a common thread: getting leverage and making stupid gambles, and then getting more leverage to cover your stupid gambles. These are all punters. Don't ever think that because someone has more money than you that they're smarter than you. That is sometimes the case, but it seems like it's rarely the case, right? In every one of these situations, Luna, Celsius, it's like literally just go down the list. Dun, 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 dun. 3 arrows, all of them, bum, 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 all the way to Scam, Bank Run, Fraud Chicken. It's always, we make bad bets, then we borrow more money from dummies and make more bad bets, then we steal money and make more bad bets, then we're out of business. Oh, and everyone loses because they dummied into whatever stupid funny money asset we've created for the moment. Anyway, so if you're not in debt, if you're not levered up, these markets, if you believe in the crypto space, are very, very, very investable. There's a lot of good quality assets that are super cheap. And we were just talking about Cardano the other day, and some of the questions today, we'll just answer them beforehand. coming in sometime, I believe, at the end of Q1 of this year, probably by March. Cardano is releasing Midnight, which is a kind of a new chain that has to do with privacy, private transactions, or the ability to obfuscate transactions. Now, I think that's, for regulators, they would always say, why on earth would you want private transactions? But a lot of people might say, listen, as long as you can validate through like zero knowledge proofs and stuff, which I won't get into, but as long as you can validate that I'm not a crook and that the transaction is not a crook, no one else needs to know about it. And I think that's fair. Your money's your money, and you should be able to do with it whatever the truck you want. So if someone thinks you did a crime, then go stop the crime. But it's not the money's fault that a crime might or might not have been committed. So I think when you look at the history of privacy tokens and their price action, we just looked at a couple of them. We looked at Monero, we looked at Zcash. Both of them went from just dust to like Zcash got up to $2,200. Matter of fact, throw the screen on there. Let me just point those out. So Monero went from nothing to let me find Monero XMR. It went to $516. That was the high, and it was just pennies. Remember, we looked at this last week, Brandon. And then Zcash, it got up to $2,200. And you'd say, well, that was whimsy and crazy and all this. Yeah, that's true. But take the lowest performer, the weakest of those, and it got up to $516 from about like a few pennies, many thousands of X's, not hundred, not because we did the math on like what, 50X or something like that, Brandon. You have $1, you now have 50, right? With Monero, you had $1, you ended up with $1,033. $1 got you 1,000. That's 1,033X. So when you're looking like, I don't know, how do I catch up? Well, don't think about catching up. That's not the right way to do it. But in the crypto space, you can certainly make up a lot of lost investment ground by making some good fundamental punts. These are all punts. We're punting, right? We're just trying to make better informed punts than the other punters. So with Cardano launching this sidechain, if you stake Cardano via Daedalus and I think Yoroi, but the only one I know for sure is Daedalus. You have your Cardano, you have it in a Daedalus wallet, or you have a NAMI wallet, NAMI. It's a private wallet. I'm not telling anyone to do this. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. I'm staking Cardano through Daedalus, and when they start that side chain, that privacy layer, every single person that's staking, at least through Daedalus, is going to get every 5 days, not only your Cardano rewards, but you'll start getting rewards in this privacy token, which is referred to as dust. Why is that cool? I love free stuff, man. But also the idea that I'm getting a privacy coin that has the potential to do 1,033X, I kind of like that. Do you like that, Brandon?
Obviously, I like that. I mean, the fact that XMR, for example, was able to go to 516 from pennies and still not drop back down there is saying something too. I mean, that's crazy.
It's still
typically when it would run clear up, it would drop 90%. So crazy.
But it still maintained a 300X. Is anybody here feel like a 300X would not? As a matter of fact, let me back that up. You let me know in the chat, those of you that are not in the crypto space, that don't believe in crypto, you hate it. You're just here because crap, I'm waiting for the next guy to come after this guy whose hair looks like a highlighter. I do traditional stuff. None of this ridiculous crypto stuff. You ever made a 300X on an investment that didn't involve cocaine or heroin from some sketchy dude that has to go through like 7 customs agents that he's paid under the table? Nope. No. And listen, Flying Ronin, crypto should scare the crap out of you. All of these investments, every one of them, every investment you ever make should scare the crap out of you. That's the whole point. That means you're being logical, you're being reasonable, because you're trading the moments of your life for currency units. you're taking those currency units and you're punting them into these forward-looking investments. This is why it's so important to have some way to wrap your mind around them. Because if you don't, you're going to lose a lot of sleep because you don't know what you own. If you don't know what you own, don't own it. And no, there's no minimum amount of ADA. If you stake Cardano tokens, you get ADA, you get Cardano rewards, and you will eventually receive dust. There, yay. Okay, why don't we do this, Brandon? There was nothing super exciting. I mean, I kept watching over the weekend. Is there anything cool going on? Flow got a little bump, which is cool, but it's so far down. I mean, it's so far down. It's still, to me, seems like a pretty good investment because they keep doing stuff. They keep branching out to the NFT. It's one of the very few ways to get that kind of fundamental protocol layer exposure into the NFT space, other than, well, really Polygon is the only other anything doing anything. I mean, Ethereum already has an embedded audience. People are exiting Solana for Ethereum and for Polygon. It's not going the other way. No one's like, I'm going to leave Ethereum to launch on, DBAG coin. Nope. Okay. Other than that, everything quiet. Fetch is up a little bit. Now, I will tell people to do this. For those of you that follow Fetch and you follow AGIX, those are the two kind of the leaders right now as far as the investable AI space. I have noticed a trend that Fetch and AGIX, it's usually 1-to-2 ratio, 1 Fetch to 2 AGIX. And when that gets out of whack by a little bit, I'm not telling anyone to do this, but you could trade back and forth between those assets. Just saying. So anyway, but you know what? The staking at Fetch is like 10%. The AGIX staking is almost like 0. So, I mean, if you're getting 10%, then probably the way to do it is stake Fetch, take your rewards once a week or something, convert them into AGIX. Because then, in a sense, it's like you're getting 2 for 1, but 2, you're getting your staking reward. You're essentially getting your Fetch rewards in AGIX. Because and then you're going to get
then it's not heavily weighted in Fetch when it's sitting over there.
And where you would stake Fetch would be with Cosmos Station. And that's a whole process that we may even have some videos on that. But the best thing to do is to go to the YouTubes and just how to stake Fetch at Cosmos Station. And there's a couple of steps. You have to find out if you have the native token, or if you native meaning the Cosmos based token, or if you have the old Ethereum token. If you have the Ethereum token, you got to swap it. Now, if you're buying the token recently via Kraken or something like that, I think you're buying the native token, meaning you set up a Cosmos Station Fetch wallet, and then you can just send it right to that wallet, and from the wallet, you can delegate. Bam! Cosmos Station is confusing at first. You got to play with it. Remember, whenever you're playing with these platforms and all this, you don't need to fund any of this stuff. Just play with them. Just set them up on your computer and just play with them. Bang around, look around, do little simple stuff. Set up a wallet, destroy it, set up another one, destroy it. Like, get comfortable with the video game before you start gambling on it, right? So there we go. And for those of you that are getting your Oculuses, I play Population 1 every day. If you want to come, we can smoke some newbies. Anyway, all right. Brandon, you play any Pop 1?
I sure don't. I don't play a lot of games.
I would wear your face as a mask.
Dude, I'm horrible at games. Horrible.
I mean, horrible at games. Your whole existence is gaming.
I mean, sure. But I'm horrible at it.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's tackle a couple of the questions, and then if anything,
we got some good
Brandon,
ones here.
Was there anything over the new year that you regret? I'm sure there was some regrettable moments.
Regret?
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
heck no. Never. Ever. I mean, I made some bad plays over the last week, sure. But who hasn't, right? Who hasn't?
Did you eat or drink anything regrettable?
No, definitely not. I don't think so.
But you paused.
I mean, I don't drink, so, I mean, eat anything, let me think.
In
Did I
government,
eat
what you're supposed to
anything?
do, you put your hand over your mouth
Oh.
and you say, I do not recall.
Oh, yeah, clearly. Do not recall.
Yeah.
But I think everything that I had over the week, I mean, nothing really strange. I didn't get sick. So anytime that I don't get food poisoning, that's a win. So I'm happy with it.
Can you delete
I did eat
Bitcoin?
pizza at a questionable pizza place, which does have me still a little bit worried, but
Blech.
we'll push past
Yeah,
that.
man.
Yeah,
You get
exactly.
the bad mozzarella cheese. Oof.
It wasn't necessarily the cheese. It was the cleanliness of the kitchen that had me worried.
Yeah, well, that's in the cheese.
It's one of those places. Yeah,
so
that's
let's do
definitely
this.
in the cheese. We have some questions.
Let's answer a couple questions, get those out of people's minds. For those of you that want to go deeper into this stuff, we do much deeper dive into all this stuff in the digital heavyweights. I mean,
yeah,
it's a new year. You might want to decide how you want to spend it. If we get what I think is going to be a pretty big fat recovery at some point, it's not happening tomorrow, but it will happen. I believe it will happen. Well, statistically, it's very likely to happen in the next 400 days. So if that happens and you miss it and you look back and go, oh man, I remember I was watching that AICI thing and they were like digital heavyweights thing. And then all those people got rich and I'm broke as hell. Don't be that backwards facing look, oh man, I should have. There ain't no I should have. You either do stuff or you don't earn the right to regret it. Period. Be an adult. Do it or don't. I think you should. But you don't have to.
The first question.
Digital heavyweights, real quick, is Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific a.m. Okay, let's do some questions.
Brian, what's going on with the Binance investigation? Do you know anything about this, Nick?
No, the prosecutors, I have a call to them. They have not answered. Brandon, you have a call to the prosecutors too.
Yeah, I mean, and I've called from different numbers too, so I'm actually surprised they haven't answered. So it's kind of strange. But yeah, I've called.
I use star 69. They still don't answer.
Is that what it is?
Binance,
star 69 hides your number? I can't remember what that secret code was. That's
so
weird.
let me give, I mean, look, it boils down to this. No matter what you do, it's going to be illegal in some jurisdiction. Binance basically showed up in 2017 and they did a lot of things that Coinbase simply was unwilling to do. And in doing so, they probably appeased a lot of retail investors, but angered a fair amount of jurisdictions. Remember, 2017, governments were uncomfortable with crypto. People are still uncomfortable, but governments are no longer uncomfortable. Now, you're the kind of people, it's like the Peter Schiffs, the old octogenarian D-bags. But actual people that look at finance and math are not at all uncomfortable with distributed systems because all of math, all of finance right now is a ledger-based system. The only difference is it's not running on crypto rails. The whole banking system is Prime. You could flip a switch and the whole system could be crypto-based in 2 weeks. So the world is not against crypto. They're against spammy garbage products and bad banks and bad investments, but none of that has to do with crypto. None of the things that failed over the last year were crypto-based. They were creep-based. So you go, okay, well, what about Binance? Yeah, that guy is probably CZ. We call him Sleazy CZ for a reason. He's been hopping and skipping in international waters for years. But that's nothing new. All of these dudes are on the run from someone. It is what it is. Does Binance have money? Yes. Have they broken rules everywhere? Probably. I mean, are they liquid? Well, their problems are not insolvency problems. Their problems are illiquidity problems due to using old school legacy banks, traditional financial bank systems. And those have all sorts of rules and settlement rules and T+1, T+2, and all this kind of stuff, where obviously crypto don't. So sometimes you get so involved in the crypto space and you're so used to moving your money in 3 seconds that when you go back, like I sent some money over to Coinbase and these dicks are like, it's going to take 5 days. I'm like, why 5 days? They're like, well, we have to verify that. I'm like, bro, I've put $500,000 on your exchange, and this, it's like it was nothing. It was like pennies. because I constantly move money into crypto. I don't like it sitting in my bank account because I don't trust bankers. I don't mind banks, but I don't trust bankers. So sometimes when you go back from crypto into the traditional financial system, you see these slow, gooey, messy, the realities of the old system. And you realize how prime it is to change. So what's up with the investigation? My guess is it will continue to be an investigation. And bad news sells right now. Is Binance going away? No. Probably in some jurisdictions it will, but look, every time Binance gets bad news, some other country accepts them into their arms. So it's like, I don't know. Seems like just the little fits and starts of a new industry. All right, what else we got?
Well, the next question. This is from UKR Strong. I lost my connection on the DAE wallet. Any suggestions to get it back?
I think you mean. Are you saying dataless? I don't know. UKR Strong. I'm not sure what the DAE wallet. Let's assume it's dataless. Let's assume it's any wallet. Just get rid of the app, reload it, or reload the wallet on your computer. Go through the steps of using your password or key phrase to reconstitute the wallet. If you go through that, the wallet comes back. If you lost your passwords, your key phrase, like your passphrase, your 12 or 24 word passphrase, if you lost that, well, it's kind of like you had some gold coins in your pocket and you left them at the park and you come back a week later and you're wondering why they're gone. Because gone. So don't lose. Listen, Sleazy CZ said something a few days ago that is probably true, although he said 99%. A lot of people are going to lose their money with private wallets. Why? Because you'll just lose your passphrase, or you'll be lazy and you'll leave it on your computer and someone's going to steal your stuff. For a lot of people, exchanges are much safer. You got to make your own decision. How much security are you willing to endure? All right, next question.
It is about an exchange. So this is good. Is there a best place to stake? I'm on Coinbase. They take a large percentage. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, staking assets, each asset probably has its own place to stake. The thing is, you're not staking if you're on Coinbase. Coinbase is staking, and you're receiving some little peripheral reward. Yes, you're giving them a large percentage, but it's a large percentage of a small percentage. So, for instance, if Coinbase makes 20% of my 5%, they make 1%. I'm not moving tokens around and going through all this crap for 1%. Like, calm down. If the difference was 8, 10%, okay, fine. But again, that's a weekend in the crypto space. These numbers don't mean anything in crypto. Don't bend over in front of a cement mixer to pick up a nickel, right? Like, calm down. For most people, it's probably better to just park your stuff on Coinbase, even though I hate Coinbase. I hate customer service at Coinbase. I like Coinbase, but the people at Coinbase are just dummies. That's the problem with all these like customer service people. They don't know nothing. They're just sitting at home with 14 kids, just trying to not, eat a bowl of Mylanta every night. Anyway, don't be dumb to save 1%. Right?
I agree with you. I don't. You're picking up pennies in front of a steamroller. If you at 1% in crypto, it's just like so negligible, guys.
It's nothing.
Okay, last question here. We have about -0 seconds. Do we have time to stake card? Okay,
yes.
That's it. That's a win. We do, and we're out.
All right. For those of you that want, please hang out with us tomorrow on Digital Heavyweights. If you guys have any digital heavyweight questions, you can always just go into the customer service thing and just ask, hey, what is digital heavyweights? How would I get involved in it? We do a lot of trading psychology and portfolio management and balancing and basic like financial education. It's a whole kind of more of a university experience, like managing your capital, managing risk, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow at 11 Eastern. Otherwise, stay in school. Don't do drugs. Don't do anything that my poor insolvent drunk, strung out on meth and whatever she ate over the weekend, grandmother and Brandon, who's not Eric, who's not Ryan, who's not Meg, who's not Elizabeth, who's not Brandon, and Nancy Pelosi. Too late, bro. Too slow.
Dude, I'm so close. So close.
You were close. You knew it was coming.
I did know.
We bid you a pew pew for the new year. A new year pew pew. Pew pew.
We're talking kind